Today on Forbes, WeatherTech founder and Trump's Federal Trade Commission pick is worth over $4 billion. On a December phone call with Forbes, the founder of the $800 million in revenue private company WeatherTech, David McNeil, ranted about product labels. He vented, quote, "If you walk into any store in America and you pick up a box, the Federal Trade Commission requires everything that you purchase to have a country of origin. But when you go online, there's no regulation for that. The American consumers are being deceived and cheated by not knowing where the product is being made. This is a serious situation that needs to be rectified either by executive order or by Congress." Or, he added, quote, "yet to be created FTC guidelines." No matter that his diatribe included some hyperbole, the rules mandating country of origin labels for products are complex and don't apply across the board, according to the FTC and U.S. Customs and Border Protection. This patriotic rhetoric plays well in certain circles these days. Just a few weeks after his conversation with Forbes, President Trump nominated McNeil, a member at Mar-a-Lago who has donated over $3 million to Trump's campaigns, associated PACs, and inaugurations, to fill one of 3 open spots on the FTC. If approved, McNeil, who Forbes estimates is worth more than $4 billion, will become the 12th known billionaire or billionaire's spouse currently in Trump's government. The 66-year-old McNeil tells Forbes, quote, "I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and go to work to help every consumer in America." He's also undoubtedly ready, if confirmed, to use the office to further one of his biggest ambitions, promoting American manufacturing. New FTC country of origin rules would be a start. McNeil was championing domestic manufacturing long before it was cool. He started selling some US-made merchandise in 1994, 5 years after founding the business, and the same year that NAFTA took effect, ushering in an era of lower tariffs and rapid offshoring. He gradually ramped up from there, and today, WeatherTech makes all of its products in 11 factory facilities in Illinois and sources all of its materials within the United States. McNeil has touted WeatherTech's U.S. production on billboards, in Super Bowl ads, and even at a donor lunch with Trump before he was elected. Seated next to the future president, McNeil says Trump baited him. McNeil recalls him asking, quote, "David, you could make so much more money by manufacturing your products in China. Why don't you just make them in China?" I said, "It's more important to provide jobs to my fellow Americans than it is to make another buck supporting Chinese manufacturing." He really liked that answer. Trump's second-term tariffs have already helped WeatherTech relative to some rivals. Dan Deichman, managing director at financial advisory firm GA Group, says, quote, "Tariffs are certainly taking a toll in the automotive space." He explains that while the taxes have mainly targeted cars and car components, so-called aftermarket parts and accessories like those sold by WeatherTech have also been hit, with that industry's gross margins squeezed up to 4% in the first half of 2025. WeatherTech's margins are also down slightly, but by more like 2%, and McNeil says that's due to inflationary pressures and the rising cost of the oil in its plastic. Retaliatory tariffs on U.S. exports are also less of an issue for WeatherTech because roughly 95% of its sales are within the United States. McNeil claims, quote, "WeatherTech is getting a larger slice of a shrinking pie," which in turn is revving up his own fortune. Based on Forbes estimates, WeatherTech, which he owns outright, is worth $2.4 billion. McNeil also has at least $320 million in personal real estate, most in Florida, where he began relocating in 2016. Including an estimated $27 million estate for his daughter in Wellington and $75 million mansion he just bought in Manalapan, both near Palm Beach. Then there's his collection of about 350 cars, worth in excess of $400 million, and $90 million in a set of jets, planes, and helicopters that he largely flies himself. Many of his investments were funded with profits from WeatherTech. Tax filings leaked to ProPublica in 2020 showed that McNeil has compensated himself generously at times, collecting roughly $180 million between 2016 and 2018. For full coverage, check out Monica Hunter Hart's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.